everyone, this is Dominga, and now we're going to be talking about the organs that participate in the human articulatory system. For this, we're going to be showing which are the major organs, as we can see here, that participate in this system, and also what we call supraglottals or the human vocal tract. One thing that we need to know for this, that after all, the organs are divided in two big parts, like for example infraglottal and supraglottal organs. In this case, we're gonna find the infraglottal organs that includes the diaphragm, the lungs, and the trachea. After that, all of the rest are called supraglottal organs. Let's define what a diaphragm and infraglottal organs are. For example, the diaphragm, this part over here, is the one that helps to push the air to the lungs, so then it can go to the rest of the organ, for example to the vocal cords, to make them vibrate in this case. Then we have the lungs, and then we can say that this is the source of the airstream that provides the air for the rest of the organs. We have the trachea. The trachea is the organ that serves like a channel between the lungs and the rest of the organ. Then we have the larynx. The larynx is not part of the infraglotta, but then we're gonna be defining what the larynx is. The larynx is this part that we find over here, and it is also called the voice box. Then we find the pharynx. The pharynx is it's very important, for example, for the articulation of vowels. Then we find the nasal and the oral cavity, and now we're gonna see what's the function of each one of those organs. For example, for those that we find over here that are the supraglottal organs, we have the gloris. The gloris, that is this part that we find over here between the vocal cords. Then we find the vocal cords. The vocal cords are responsible to vibrate, whether they can vibrate or no. In some cases, for example, when they vibrate, we say that we have a voice sound, but when it doesn't vibrate, we say we have a voiceless sound. We also find the epigloris. The epigloris, in this case, its main functions is to work for the articulation of the consonant. Then we have the tongue, which is a very important organ for the articulation, and it is divided in three parts: the tip, the blade, and the back of the tongue. Especially the tip and the back of the tongue are involved in the production of vowels and consonants. For example, in the case of some vowels like I or U, we use, in the case of the I, we use the tip of the tongue, and the case of U, we're using the back of the tongue. In the case of consonant, for example, for T and H, we use whether in the T we are using the tip of the tongue, and in H we're using the back of the tongue. Um, then we have the roof of the mouth. The one in this case, this one is divided in three parts as well. We have the alveolar ridge over here, the hard palate, and the soft palate, or what we call the velum. The alveolar ridge and the hard palate, the main function of them is basically to function like for place of articulation. But in the case of the soft palate or the velum, it has like two different functions. For example, when it is open, we say that we produce nasal sounds, but when it is closed, then we have oral sounds. Next, we have the lips. The lips, also for the articulation of consonant, especially, they can be rounded, unrounded, and neuter. For example, in some vowels like O or A, I guess, O or I, we are using kind of rounded lips, and in sounds like A or I, we're using unrounded lips. Finally, we're going to find the teeth. The teeth, the main function of the teeth is as well for the articulation of vowels and consonants, and it can be divided in three parts for the articulation. For example, dental, interdental, and labiodental sounds. For example, interdental and labiodental sounds are when the teeth make connections with the tongue. But in the case of labiodental, is when the lower. Thanks to everyone. This is all for now. See you in the next time.